Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the dungeons reworked in patch 6.3, the Great Gubal Library. Now the trash pulls in here are going to be very similar, if not exactly the same, so we'll just briefly go over their abilities as we see them. The first two units do have large cone AoEs that you just want to dodge out of these. They leave a poison debuff that can be dispelled with Esuna, so you can easily remove this if someone does get hit. For the next group, there will be several other cone AoEs along with circular AoEs being thrown out, but they are rather small, so you should be able to easily sidestep out of these. The final group here will have several cone AoEs from the Falcons, circular AoEs from the Tomes, and then Merilith can also do a circular AoE, so you'll just want to sidestep out of all of these. This will bring you to the first boss, the Demon Tome. Now he has similar abilities to the other tome-based enemy that we fought in previous dungeons, so you'll move out of the center when he does the purple line down the center, and then move back into the center whenever the purple line moves to the outsides. He'll do this 2 separate times before casting Repel, which will knock everyone away, and then casting Disclosure. You will need to move to the opposite side of the boss before Disclosure finishes casting, or he will instantly kill you if you're on that side. He'll then rotate around to the other side if you are too close to him, knocking you back in the process, before doing the purple lines down the center of the platform and the sides of the platform again. I follow this up with a Words of Winter, which is going to make the entire platform icy, along with doing a bit of AoE damage. This will cause you to slide around anywhere you were to move. I'll then do the purple line AoEs one more time. Before doing another Repel and a Words of Winter together. This time you want to position yourself towards the side so that after the Words of Winter, when he begins casting Disclosure, you can easily slide behind him. For the next group of ads, when you pick up the page 64, it will link itself to one party member. Then it will launch AoEs at that party member, so they should stand away from the rest of the group. It will also begin casting level 5 Death. Since your level in here is level 60, which is an increment of 5, if you are in this AoE at the time, it will immediately kill you. When you're fighting groups with sprites in them, you'll want to make sure you're tanking on top of the sprites, as they are a ranged mage unit, so they're not going to come to you. The next several groups will have the exact same type of units, so you'll just face them in the exact same way. AoEing the spine dusters down and making sure whoever has the tether from the page 64 is moving away from the rest of the party. For the final group, the page 64 is the more prominent unit that you'll want to focus down, as it has that level 5 death instead of tanking on top of the sprite for this one. After the page 64 is dead, the doorway in the next room will open up where you can break line of sight, causing the sprite to come to you. When you pick up the second boss, you'll want to face him away from the rest of the group, as he does have a frontal cone AoE on the tank called Page Tear. He'll also move to the center of the platform and cast Heads Down on a random party member. This will cause him to charge that party member, doing a bit of damage to everyone in between, so just make sure that you're away from everyone else. When he summons the 2 page 64s, he'll stand in the middle of the room casting Bone Shaker. Each time this AoE goes off, it will apply a vulnerability debuff. You'll want to destroy the page 64, and then whoever is tethered by the blue tether will want to drag the fire into Biblos in the middle to knock him out of his invulnerability. After this, I'll move back to the center of the platform, casting Gale Cut. This will summon multiple green AoEs that you'll just want to avoid walking into. He does have a tail smash if too many people are behind him, so stay towards his sides to avoid this. After he gets down a bit more, he'll summon 2 more page 64s that again you'll just want to focus one of them down to kill it as quick as possible to get the blue tether and then run that tether into Biblos. At the same time, he will cast Gale Cut. If the blue orb runs into the wind, it will disperse it. You'll want to run around these to make sure that you're able to knock him out of his invulnerability. When he's back in the center, he'll cast another Gale Cut, along with casting a Heads Down for charging one party member. For the next session, when you reach Scatine, he'll begin casting Void Call, which will summon 2 additional adds. Each of these Biblio class can do a circular AoE at random party members. If they do, you'll just want to move out of this. You'll then come across a Logos, which will have the typical Iron Armor ability set, so you'll want to watch out for the cone AoE that he'll do in front of him, along with a large line AoE he can do at random party members. For the next group, these speed readers are caster type units, so you'll want to make sure that you're moving to them to tank on top of them. They also have a Dread Gaze ability that you'll just want to move out of this AoE. If you are inside of the AoE while looking at them, it will petrify you. The final Scatine will do a Void Call to summon the 2 additional units, along with there being a page 64 that will latch onto one party member, so make sure that that party member is away from everyone else to avoid the line AoEs passing through other people. For the final boss, shortly after you begin the fight, he'll put a marker on a random party member. These members will need to move towards the outside of the platform between the circles that are around the platform, as after the AoE hits them, it will also summon an orb that will do an AoE around it. So you'll want it away from the areas that you'll be having to run during the Void Call. When he begins Void Call for the first one, you'll need to run to each of the platforms and just touch them to cause them to be locked so that no additional adds will be summoned. When you cast Void Call the second time, you will require 2 party members to be standing on the platform at the same time to actually lock it and cause no adds to be summoned. And then cast Deep Darkness, which will do a donut AoE around him, followed by Magic Burst, which is going to do a circular AoE around him. The next Void Call will require 3 of the 4 party members to be inside of the circle to lock it. He'll again follow this up with another Deep Darkness and Magic Burst. So you'll want to move in and then move away. And this should be it for the Great Gubal Library. I hope this helped everyone out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you on the next one.